Pete'sTools.com.
G'day guys, how we going today? Hey, I'm still mucking around with my new 7th generation Bestarc plasma cutter. I think this one might become my best friend. I've been going through the instruction manual. Yeah, that's right, I read the instruction manual every now and then. It says it can do about 11 millimeters on 220 volts or 10 mil on 110 volts. So let's put this beast to the test and see if we can actually make it cut more than that. What do you reckon, guys? Give it a crack? Why not? Anyway guys, same as usual, you like my videos, subscribe, drop me a like, drop me a comment, come say good day in the comments below, and let's see what this baby can actually do. So if you don't know already guys, this is the latest out of the Bestarc factory. I actually got my hands on one before they were actually released to the public, so that's why I'm having fun with this machine. I love new tools, I just can't help it, eh? And this has got all the bits and pieces on it that you're ever going to need. It's really good to set up for the first time, especially if you haven't been plasma cutting before, because you've got air gauges, you've got all sorts of things that tells you when you're in the red, when you're in the green with the right air pressure. You can set it to 2T or 4T. You can actually set PA, the pilot arc function on this, from 1 to 15 seconds, which is really cool. None of the other cheaper end machines can do that. Also, none of the other cheaper end machines have the 2T and the 4T. 4T is that you don't have to keep holding the button on your torch. All you do is pull it on once and it keeps on going until you click it next time and then it shuts off. Whereas 2T, you need to pull the trigger and then when you let it go it stops instantly. And you might say, well, what difference does that make, Pete? That's a load of bullshit. But it really makes a difference if you're cutting long lengths or you're cutting like corrugated steel and you're just sort of lifting your torch up all the time, and sometimes you just flick off the switch and then it stops cutting and then it pisses you off because you've got to start all over again, start your lines. Whereas with the 4T you don't have to do that. This machine here's got cut, and if you just want to test that you got air pressure, put it up to the ear, you can blow your table off like so, put it back to cut. I mean, it's pretty awesome. This machine is in the cheaper end of machines and they just keep improving and improving and improving them. I was really impressed with the last Bestarc plasma cutter that I brought, but this thing is one level above that again, and the price is almost the same. I think we're looking at about $269, guys. I mean, wow. This has also got post time PT, which is how long the air comes out of your torch when you let the button go to cool off your consumables, and that makes a huge difference to the life of your consumables. If you don't cool them off enough, then you're going to burn through them really quick, but this gives you the option right up to 15 seconds. So that's pretty awesome as well. The only thing I'd say, guys, if you're going to run it at 15 seconds on a post time like that, at 15 seconds, what it's doing is it's using a hell of a lot more air out of your compressor, which is not a problem if you've got a big compressor, but if you're running a little compressor like a lot of us guys are, then it can be a bit of an issue. So I just normally back it back. Depending how thick I'm cutting, if I'm cutting a really thick steel, I'll put it to the maximum at 15 seconds. If I'm cutting quite thin, maybe 5 mil, 6 mil, I'll back it off to like 6 or 7 seconds. And if I'm cutting shit metal, like Pete says, really thin metal, I just go 1 second, off. Rightio guys, it says it can cut up to 11 millimeters. So let's have a look, see what we've got here. We have about 5, 6, 7, 8 millimeters here. Can you see that, guys? We're about 8 millimeters. Excuse my measure thing, I've lost the battery out of it. So you'll have to have a look on the little ruler there. I think you can see that. We're about 8 millimeters. So according to the instructions, it should blow through this like a hot knife through butter. Yeah, let's have a look. Some of the other machines I've had, guys, are shocking. They won't even cut this. I remember when I first started cutting things with an angle grinder, if I could cut 6 millimeters or 7 millimeters like this, I thought it was Christmas, let alone cutting a full sheet of it. Just how things change when you get a plasma cutter, it's just, you know, you're always looking for something bigger and better to cut. Right, when I'm cutting this too, guys, I always put my earth clamp as close to the possible as where I'm cutting. It just gives you a little bit more grunt. Right, let's see what this baby will do. We've got the PSI set up right here. We're about 59 PSI, running at 50 amps. We're on 2T, that means when I let go of the button on the torch, it'll stop. And we've got post time at 15 seconds. I'll back that down to about 5, 6 maybe, because we're only cutting about 6 mil steel. And I've got the PA set to, well, we're not really on that dirty steel, so we'll probably set the pilot arc to 4 seconds. Rightio guys, let's see what happens. So See this, guys? It didn't even look at that twice. I mean, absolutely bloody amazing. I think it is anyway. I mean, that's 6 mil, it might even be 7 mil. Hot knife through butter. Okay, so let's see if it can actually cut what it says it'll cut in the instructions. Yo! Right, so I'm actually running out of steel to cut, guys. I'm actually cutting up the weights off my weight bench at the moment. But anyway, you got to do what you got to do, eh? So we're looking for 11 millimeters. What do we got? We have got 12 millimeters here, guys. Can you see that? So we're actually 1 millimeter over what it should be able to cut. Let's give it a go. You never know what's going to happen. Once again, guys, I'm going to put my earth clamp as close as I can to wherever I'm cutting. This is pretty ugly. It's got a lot of rust and paint on it. We'll see what the beast can do, eh? Rightio, will it cut? Won't it cut? Only one way to find out, guys. Too easy, Pete. Here we go, guys. What do you reckon about whoa, whoa, whoa. What do you reckon about that? Apart from the fact, shit, that's hot. Look at this. So what are we, 11, 12 millimeters there? This is what it's designed to cut. Cut through it like a hot knife through butter. But you think we can get it to cut anything thicker? I reckon we should give it a go. What do we got now, guys? We've got a weight off my weight bench and we're running at about 21 millimeters, believe it or not, and it's covered in paint and rust. You don't believe, Pete, that it's 21 millimeters? Here we go. What do we got? 21 millimeters, guys. Now, by rights, this machine shouldn't cut that. Remember, we're talking about a $269 machine. Let's give it a go, eh? Now, this is going to get really, really hot, guys, so what I want to do is put the earth behind it. If I can, possibly, which I don't think I can. Make sure that you get a really good earth if you're trying to do something like this. See, we've got it like there, that'll do. As long as it doesn't fall off there, we'll be right. So maybe I can cut it like this and then cut it like that. What do you reckon? I'll put a hammer on it just to hold it so we don't lose it halfway through. Now, I don't know if this is going to work or not, guys, but always ready to try something new. Rightio, guys, I've got my glove on. I reckon we'll cut it down here and then I'll try and cut it up there. See if we can do 21 millimeters. What do you reckon? Let's do it. Right, guys, let's try and do it up the other side. Yee-haw! Let's have a look at this, guys. Shozel mozel, that's hot. What do you reckon? Now, that's quite amazing. I think that is really, really amazing, guys. And my hand's getting burned here and I'm smoking up and I am really, really impressed with that. Look at that. 21, 22 millimeter thick steel. $269 machine. You be the judge. Just love cutting up shit, eh? So anyway, guys, what do you reckon? What can I say? Like I say, it's cheap end of the machines. It's, oh shit, that's still hot. It'd be really, really good if you first wanted to get into plasma cutting with all the optional extras you get with this. It just makes cutting so much easier, and I'm really, really impressed. Most of these machines will run to the limit and they'll struggle to cut to the limit, but this almost cut double the limit, believe it or not. Not quite. What I had 11 mil and I think I was about 21. So this is 10 mil thicker than what I was supposed to cut. Are you kidding me or are you kidding me? Anyway, guys, that's about it for this time. I had fun doing this. I really like pushing these things to the limit. I'll put a link in the description below if you want to go and check one out on Amazon. And same as usual, you like my videos, remember to subscribe, like, drop me a comment. And remember, if you want to see Pete doing his best to make a travel channel about New Zealand, I'll put a link in the description below as well. You can come check me out there. Maybe you could subscribe there too if you wanted to. If you haven't seen enough of me yet. Yeehaw! Oh, before I go, if you want to see a unboxing of this machine here, check up there. I'll put a link up there for you. And if you want to see the first test I done of this machine, check up this side here. I'll put a link up there for you. See you next time.
Pete'sTools.com